Hey, what's up? It's 42. It is a good morning for me and you. Hey, this will be a quick video. Just want to say that black media, this whole thing with Nefertiti being taken on the Today Show, this is on you. You've known that people classified as white have this sort of psychosis. Mr. Holipsism did a good video on this where he talked about how Bruce Lee left America as a failure, where they took his idea about the Kung Fu movie or TV show, and that became Kung Fu, starring David Carradine. This guy that was super talented leaves America and has to make movies in China because people classified as white only want to use the media to promote themselves in ways that they prefer. If there are exceptions, they want to be in charge of those exceptions. It is their issue. They are the one with the problem. However, I blame you because Nefertiti had an ancestry test done on her and her family. Well, check that. The mummy they assume is Nefertiti, the younger lady mummy that they used on the Today Show, had an ancestry test done back in 2011. It was the same DNA tribes test that included Tut, Amenhotep III, Queen T, Yuya, Duya, and DNA consultants use the same thing too. But black media did not report that. And I did a 4-hour video where I pointed out that not only was this a real test, it was verifiable. And it was being covered up by one admin on Wikipedia who was censoring it. And I went through how he was doing it. It was really obvious the way that they were doing it. That they let this admin do that. And I talked about how if you just publicize this, it would completely defeat their purpose in doing it. But no major black media said, hey, we have a ancestry test from King Tut, which also included Nefertiti. Instead, you were on a bunch of inane shit, as usual, like colorism, and they gave you a real dose of colorism, didn't they? And what did you have to say about it but bitch? And all the people who are talking about it right now, who of you are bringing up that ancestry test? It could have at least been popular on social media. But I don't really look at social media like that. I look at the websites like Atlanta Black Star. They did a story on this, didn't mention ancestry tests. And here's the thing about that ancestry test. You could take the raw data behind it, run it against different population databases, and find out who Nefertiti was objectively related to, which a few people did. I did in that video, I showed their work. So take some responsibility for this shit. You, especially if you're doing stories right now where you're just all you're showing are pictures of sunburned pale people and saying this is bullshit and complaining about it. At least bring up the fact that they did this in the face of an ancestry test. That's the crazy part to me. An ancestry test where the results were hella African, objectively. Black media, caught flat-footed. You know, if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready, because when that thing first dropped, man, I ain't never had a tweet blow up so much. Because I said, hey, these are her parents, as you can see. These are her parents. This is our ancestry test. And man, people were coming at me and I was just sniping them. Sniping. And it got stupid to a point. I might go into detail about some of the arguments people were throwing out. But it got so dumb that eventually you had somebody talking about they were just copying and pasting anything they could find from the sample that the ancestry test was on, talking about, well, they couldn't find Y chromosomal DNA for the females. Like, just because they didn't know what they were talking about. You know, and if you don't know, females don't even have Y chromosomal DNA. That proved that they had females. It proved that at least that part of the test wasn't contaminated, but the test wasn't contaminated. These were reaches. Because the results were pretty much in line with their recorded genealogy. Not something you're going to get from contamination. They were just making stuff up. And that was pretty much it. It just was a make stuff up, throw shit, hope it sticks. And that doesn't work with me. So I was just sniping. And eventually, I got sick of being sniped. I'm very soon going to release a video about solutions. I just wanted to do this real quick because a lot of people are just putting this on the psychosis of white people, but you've known they're like this for years, especially Hollywood. You've known this. And in this case, because you completely ignored King Tut's ancestry test, which included this mummy that they use as Nefertiti. I'm kind of 50-50 on whether it really is Nefertiti. There's no way to be sure if the younger lady mummy is Nefertiti. I think it is. Others think it isn't. There is not enough hard evidence for me either way to where I would make an argument, or much of an argument. But regardless if it is Nefertiti or not, the ancestry test is on that mummy that they used on the Today Show. And you, black media, ignored it. And you were on your stupid shit, as usual. Gossipy, stupid shit. And then this tired, racist ritual to bring this out during Black History Month hits you flat-footed when they couldn't have ran this if you would have made the ancestry test hot and the whole controversy with Wikipedia, which I suggest you still do. It is not too late to do stories and say, hey, they did this in the face of an ancestry test that is being censored on Wikipedia. And if you want if you want information on that, I did a 4-hour-long video. It's in 3 parts, and I know. It ain't for everybody. I may do a video where I try to sum it up because I had to show so much data to make it clear, it was hard to blow the data up so you can see it well enough to fact check it. So I may do a follow-up, but in the meantime, I'm editing a video that will upload soon. I say soon, but it may be a week because I want it to really be clear. And it's all about the meta for Black Power, the most effective tactics available. So that will be coming soon. So it's 42. I'm out.